Yo, what's going on, true Blazer fans? It's Torey, and I'm back with another player analysis. Now first, I'm going to talk about the struggle that I had uploading that Wade Baldwin player analysis yesterday. If you haven't checked that out, you should, because it was a journey getting that video uploaded. So I went to the beach this past Friday. I was there till Monday. I wanted to get that Wade Baldwin player analysis out on Friday, but my original audio file had a bunch of music overlapping. It was very weird, okay? I was trying to send it to Eric so he could put some highlights on it. Eric put a lot of work on that video as well, but the audio file was ruined. So I go down to Cape Lookout. That's where I was camping at. It's right by Tillamook, and we had no coverage at the beach, so I couldn't upload it from my phone. I went to a Starbucks in Tillamook and they didn't have working Wi-Fi. I went to another Starbucks and it was in a Safeway that didn't have working Wi-Fi. I drove around the town trying to find a place that would give me at least 3 bars because that's what I needed to upload this so that Eric could put his highlights on it. I couldn't find a dang 3rd bar. On Sunday night, I was finally able to get it uploaded. I tried a McDonald's parking lot with McDonald's Wi-Fi. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place, but if you're gonna go to Tillamook, apparently McDonald's is the best place for Wi-Fi. That video was so delayed. I hate having layoffs like that, so I just figured I'd tell that little story. So that means we're gonna be rolling out player analysis maybe every day for the next few days or so, because we gotta catch up. We gotta get these done. And if any videos are ever delayed, we will tweet about it. You can check out our Twitter for updates on that type of stuff. Our Twitter handle is @TrueBlazerFan. We'll put a link to our Twitter page down in the description below, so you can follow that if you want to keep up to date with videos and stay tuned with what we're doing. So with all that being said, we're going to jump into the player analysis for Caleb Swanigan. Drafted with the 26th overall pick in last year's draft, Caleb Swanigan was looking to produce right away. He was labeled as a ready now type of prospect. After what was a decent preseason, you had some expert analysis like Dwight James campaigning for Caleb Swanigan to start at the power forward spot, which he definitely was not ready for. However, after getting spare minutes to start the season, Caleb Swanigan fell out of the rotation, ended up going to the G League, ended up getting called back up near the end of the season where he played a few minutes here and there, but otherwise, it was a disappointing season if you were expecting him to be a regular contributor and a guy that was ready to start for a playoff team. Now, I did not think he was ready to start for a playoff team for sure, man. That was a bit of a stretch by some of the experts in our local media, but I know a lot of people had hopes for him, especially after his first Summer League stint where he was a first-team all-tournament selection. If I'm going to be completely honest, I did not like the pick of Caleb Swanigan at 26 at all. I'm not an Oregon Duck fan, I'm a Gonzaga Bulldog fan, but I still wanted Jordan Bell, and he looks like he would have been the correct choice there. If not him, then Kyle Kuzma, who nobody really saw coming. But Caleb Swanigan, I didn't like the pick because he had limitations and his game didn't really translate from the college level to the NBA. In college, he was a low post guy that was able to bully his way into buckets inside, didn't really have trouble getting them off, but he was pretty ground bound and not that athletic, and he's 6'8", 6'9", so he's even undersized for the power forward spot in the NBA, but in college you could get away with it. He also shot pretty well from the 3-point line in college. He shot around 43 to 44%, so that looked like a part of his game that he could maybe translate to the NBA, and he could be at least a stretch 4. However, coming out of college, I had questions about his form. He uses a lot of energy on his 3-point shot, and with a guy who's not in that great of condition, shooting from the NBA 3-point line in a faster-paced game probably isn't going to translate from college where he didn't have to run as much, he didn't have to be in as good of condition, and the 3-point line was, of course, shorter. And in the NBA, you can't really bully big men inside the paint unless your name is Zach Randolph, which is a comparison I hear a lot, but Caleb Swanigan doesn't have that uncanny ability to use his weight and that uncanny ability to finish shots through contact like Zach Randolph does. I hate hearing the comparison of Zach Randolph because while that's good in theory, Caleb Swanigan just doesn't have those unteachable skills that Zach Randolph does that have made Zach Randolph successful. While Zach Randolph has always been a decent player, he's never been super efficient either. As a big that shoots mostly inside the arc, he hardly ever has shot 50% or higher. We killed Jusuf Nurkic last year. for shooting 50%. So even people's unrealistic comparison still isn't that great in my opinion. If you can see the way this video is trending, it's going to be a little bit more negative than most of my player analysis series because I'm just not a huge fan of Caleb Swanigan's game. I'm a huge fan of his work ethic. I love his story. He's a great player and I really want to see him succeed. I just don't think he has the tool set that's going to allow him to be able to do so. So like I said, his jump shot, I didn't really think it could translate well to the three-point line, and so far he looks like he could maybe be a 32-33% three-point shooter in my opinion, and that's one of the things that's going to keep him in the league is his three-point shot. So if he's only shooting 32 or 33%, that's not a good sign for his NBA career. He's always going to struggle to get shots off inside because he can't get much lift, and he was even struggling to get shots off in summer league, and that's not going up against legit NBA big men who are much taller than him and much more athletic. And then defensively, he can't really slide his feet too well, so all the new perimeter fours that are playing in today's NBA, they're tough covers for Caleb Swanigan. And then inside, yeah, he's strong, yeah, he can hold his position, but it's easy for NBA centers to shoot over him because he just doesn't have enough pure size. So not being a great three-point shooter, not being able to finish inside, not being able to defend, out of those three things, to be able to be an okay rotation player, you need to be able to do at least one of them. To be a good rotation player, you need to be able to do at least two of them. And he can do none, and I just don't see how he's going to develop those parts of his games. I have the most hope in his three-point shot because anybody can learn how to shoot better. I mean, look at Al-Farouq Aminu, but defensively and finishing inside, he's capped by his physical limitations. Now, on a more positive note, I do really like his passing, and it does give him more value offensively. He is an underrated passer, and he showed during Summer League, and even at points last season and in the preseason, that he can make good passes for a big man. Of course, Terry Stotts loves his two high post offense. He loves his high-low. He loves his horn sets. So Caleb Swanigan being able to pass well out of elbow situations, especially with more shooters around him this year, is a positive sign for him. He's also a good screen setter, and of course, his rebounding is pretty good. I don't think his rebounding is as good as Ed Davis's because, believe it or not, Ed Davis had the highest rebound rate in the league last season for players that played over 15 minutes a game. Ed Davis was at least top 5 rebounder in the league, and Caleb Swanigan will not be able to replace that rebounding production. I hear some people say that. I just don't think it's possible. So now, trying to be optimistic and looking at things that Caleb Swanigan can improve to end up in the rotation this year, end up taking some of Ed Davis's minutes and actually being able to produce with them. He definitely needs to become a 37 or 38% three-point shooter. That's a given. If he's able to stretch defenses, that's always valuable, especially when you're playing with two guards that love to isolate and score like Dame and CJ. He's gonna have to work on his feet defensively. He's gonna have to be a little bit better. We can't have guys blowing by him constantly. Even if he's still slightly below average, that's fine, because right now he's not good at all. Right now he's pretty horrible. So he's gonna have to become at least just below average in that regard, not as bad as he has been. And then he has to learn some moves where he can finish inside. He loves a kind of hopping fadeaway. He loves a running hook, but those aren't super efficient shots even when he does get them off. So the shots that he does get off, he needs to be able to finish efficiently. He needs to be able to be efficient from inside the arc, and he needs to learn how to pick his spots and shoot in situations where he is able to get a good shot off instead of trying to force against bigger, stronger, and more athletic players. So let me know what you guys think about Caleb Swanigan. I know a lot of people love his hustle and love his work ethic. I do too, but this is probably going to be the most negative player analysis video in this entire series. So if you have a different opinion, if you're more positive on him, tell me why, try and convince me otherwise. I like keeping the dialogue down there in the comment section below with you guys, so make sure to leave your own. So with all that being said, I'm out of here, Rip City. I hope you true Blazer fans have an amazing day. This has been Torey. Go Blazers.